Hi, my name is Marie-France Val, and welcome to my time management webinar. There are many tools to help you keep track of time, and today we're going to be looking at the Eisenhower method. If you look at these pictures, they might seem familiar. You have a lot of emails, you're not able to answer them all, everything is urgent and it needs to be done right away. You look at the clock at the end of the day, and you feel like you haven't accomplished much. This happens to a lot of people. There's something that I like to refer to as the work overload funnel effect. Now, if you Google it, if you look online, you will not find anything really related to the work overload funnel effect. It's something that I've observed and that I like to use this term to explain to employees when they're overloaded with work and they don't know how to manage their time well. So, imagine that you're this funnel. You have an interview this afternoon at 3 o'clock. The phone keeps on ringing and you have to answer the phone. There's an order you need to prepare because you need something for the following day. There's a meeting at the end of the day with your boss, and there's a presentation you have to prepare for next week. There's a spreadsheet that's very important that you need to finish as well. There's one of your employees who's reminding you that their performance review is up. There's all these emails that you're getting and that you haven't even looked at today. And there's a big training that you have to prepare for all of your employees next week, and you haven't even started. What happens a lot of time is that you will look at all these tasks, you don't know where to start, you don't know which one to do, they all seem important, you have to answer your emails, and then the phone rings, and then you start solving the issue related to that phone call, and then you start working a bit on your training, and at the end of the day, you don't really accomplish much. So, how do you solve this issue? Well, time management will definitely help you. So if you have good time management skills and good time management tools, that will definitely help get rid of the overload funnel effect where you can't get anything done. The consequences of poor time management. There's definitely stress. You're going to always be stressed if you feel like you can't get anything accomplished on time and you're never meeting your deadlines. You're definitely going to have lack of results because at the end of the day, if you've only done 10% of what you wanted to do because you cannot manage your time well, then you won't have the results that you want, which will lead to poor performance because you're not delivering what you're supposed to be delivering. You'll feel incompetent because you know that you can do all these tasks individually, but somehow you can't get to actually accomplishing them and doing them. There's definitely going to be frustrations from your colleagues and from your supervisors because they're expecting deliverables and you're not providing them with the tools that they need perhaps to accomplish their own tasks. At the end of the day, if all this happens, you're not going to be satisfied at work. So how can we improve this? With better management skills. There are simple tools out there to help you, and today we'll be focusing on the Eisenhower method, and hopefully it'll help you be a little bit happier at work. So essentially, the Eisenhower method is a method where you assign a level of importance to your tasks. If you want, you can even choose to add personal tasks if you find that you have a difficult time including your kids' soccer games to your schedule, for example. For the purpose of this webinar, we're actually just going to focus on work-related tasks. So, the Eisenhower method is a tool where you can establish if your tasks are important or unimportant, urgent, or not urgent. We'll look at that more in detail, but the second step of this method is you will enter your tasks in a box or a matrix. For the purpose of this webinar, we will call it a box. And this is what the box looks like. There are 4 different groups of important, unimportant, urgent, and not urgent tasks that we will break down together. First of all, you have to be able to identify what is important and what is urgent. What's important to keep in mind here is that your work reality is different than mine, is different than your colleagues. You're the one who will be able to assess with what you're living and what your deliverables are, if it's important or urgent. Different people have different expectations, so you will have to learn how to do that on your own. But overall, what is urgent? Urgent means something that requires your immediate attention. A lot of times it's a snap decision, something that has to be done quickly. It's not always the best way that you want to be working with. So you don't want to have too many urgent things in that box. But today's reality, you can't avoid having urgent tasks to take care of. Something that is important is actually something that really will contribute to long-term mission, values, and goals of your company. And a lot of times here, you'll have a bit more time to work on these tasks. So you don't necessarily have to provide a decision right away. So you want to have things in the important section a lot more than just the urgent section. So now, you actually have to make the box. The first part of the box is the urgent and important section. The second part is important but not urgent. The third one, urgent but not important. And the fourth is neither important nor urgent. Now, you could decide to make your box on a piece of paper, on a notepad that you like to use, on your tablet, on your computer. You decide whichever way is best for you, as long as you know that you need to keep it handy so you could keep track of your tasks and make sure that you're on time and that you'll meet your deadlines. Once you've actually created the box, you're going to have to fill it. So we'll just briefly look at what can go in each of these boxes. So if something is important and urgent, obviously a crisis and something that an immediate deadline will require your immediate attention, so it's urgent and important. Major problems, you have to deal with them right away, so they will go in the urgent and important section. Something that's important, but maybe not so urgent, just general ongoing planning, just business relationships, and follow-ups. Something that is urgent and not important, you have interruptions, somebody has a question for you, you have a planned meeting, or just quick problem solving. And something that is not urgent, nor is it important, just ongoing projects or social activities. So, at your Monday morning, you have to determine where your tasks fit in the box. We'll look at a few examples that will help you determine where they should go in the box. So you have a team meeting that is cancelled tomorrow morning. You have to finish a business proposal for next week, and you have about 4 days left. You need to organize a Christmas party, which is in about 3 months. Oh, you have to deal with a client complaint, and an employee needs to talk to you about a personal problem. So where do all this go? Again, only you can know. You know your realities, you know your deadlines, you know your colleagues and your supervisors. But we'll look at different situations, we'll break these down, and we'll try to put them in a category together. So there's a team meeting canceled tomorrow, and you're in charge of actually notifying everyone. It's 3 o'clock, it's the end of the day, and it's a breakfast meeting at 7 o'clock the following day. If you procrastinate and wait till 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening to notify everyone, they might not know, and they might show up the next morning at 7 o'clock, and they are probably not going to be happy. So that would most likely go in the important and urgent section. Your business proposal for next week. If you've done 60-70% of it already, and you're satisfied with your work, you know you have plenty of time in that 4 days left before you actually propose and meet with your clients. That might be different than if you haven't touched it and you realize that it might take you even more than 4 days to finish. So in one situation, it might be important and urgent that you finish it. And in another situation, it might be important and not urgent. It's important because it's a business proposal, but maybe you've done enough, so it's not urgent. Organizing the Christmas party will most likely be in the not important and not urgent section. If a client is complaining and they're in front at reception and they're refusing to leave, it's quite different than if it's a client that you know very well, that you've been working with them for years and you have a great relationship and it's a minor issue, it's quite different. So in one situation, it's important but not so urgent. You could address it maybe the following day or even in 2 days. In the other situation, it's important and urgent that you solve the issue and the complaint right away. So your employee needs to talk to you about a personal problem. Maybe you actually heard that it's an issue with vacation and they want to change their vacation. Your employee might see it as a personal problem, but for you, you know it's something that is very different than a family crisis or an illness, for example. So in a situation, it might be important and urgent to address the crisis and the illness, but if it's about a vacation, it might not be as urgent. It might happen that you're not sure where one of your tasks will go in the box. You're looking at it, you don't know if it's important, you don't know if it's urgent, you're a bit lost. So there's a few things that you can do in order to determine where it will go in the box. First of all, if you look at the task and you look at the deadline and you look at how much work you've already done and is it realistic for you to meet this deadline, it might help you establish if it's urgent or not urgent. You also have to look at the impact or impacts of actually not finishing on time. Is it very minor? Is it going to cause a lot of problems? You might lose a contract because of it. Then that might determine if it's urgent or not, or important or not. If you're not sure, feel free, ask your colleagues, don't be shy. They might give you information that will move from urgent to not urgent and will give you a lot more time to work on a project. So definitely discuss it with your colleagues and your supervisors. So now you have to use the box. We've established that the team meeting that was cancelled the next morning was urgent and important. Finishing the business proposal for the following week, the client complaint, and the employee who needs to talk to you, we've decided that it's not urgent, but it's definitely important. There's nothing in the urgent and not important category, and the Christmas party goes in the not urgent and not important. You most definitely have to take care of the urgent and important task. You need to notify your colleagues rapidly that the team meeting is cancelled tomorrow morning, so you want to get rid of that right away. After dealing with the urgent section, you're going to deal with the not urgent section. Obviously, you're going to start with the urgent and not important tasks, and then finish with what's fun, the not urgent nor important tasks. It will be important to update your tasks. If you don't update them, then your box will become obsolete. Ideally, take a look at your box at the beginning and the end of the day. If you can even look at your box before you check your emails, for example, that's best. So you get to finish and accomplish the urgent and important tasks right away before you start actually doing your daily routine. Make sure you cross out the tasks as you go along. So don't wait, 10 days and then go back and try to figure out what you've done and not done. That's not efficient. So make sure that you regularly update what you finished, and it also will help you feel better because you're actually finishing and crossing off things and moving on to other projects. Updating your list. Will you do it on Mondays, Fridays, twice a week, every day? You're going to have to decide what's best for you. I propose that you try. 1 week you do it twice a week, and then maybe you'll try once a week, and then you'll adjust. If you need to verify it and check it more, then you'll do that. A few things that you don't want to do is you don't want to waste too much time preparing your box. If it takes you an hour or 2 hours every morning, then that's not good. That's not efficient. If you are using the box once a month, then obviously, again, becomes obsolete. You're not going to update your tasks, and you're going to lose track of what you're working on. And also, you don't want to put just trivial tasks. For example, you know that you need to check your emails. You don't need to write check emails in your box. What's important to do is keep your box handy. You want to be able to know what you're working on at all times, and so you don't lose track of what you need to focus on. As I mentioned before, update your box regularly so you know how much work you have left to do and be able to work on the important things. What is a good idea is share your box with your colleagues so they're aware of what you're working on, and they might let you know that something is not so urgent and it'll give you more time to work on other things. Also, they'll know your work reality and your workload as well. In the end, there's different tools for different people. You might try the Eisenhower method and love it and use it for forever, or you might decide that you want to try another tool because it's not perfect for you. But what's important is that you integrate time management tools in your daily routine to help you accomplish your tasks and feel happier at work. And keep it fun. Make sure you're organized and find a tool that you enjoy working with.